Let's talk about accountability and fairness, two principles that are supposed to apply equally to everyone. Recently, activist Narinder Kaur was filmed breaching a Section 14 order that had been placed on the Stand Up to Racism demonstration. That order was clear, restrictions were in place, and anyone ignoring them would be in violation of the law. Yet despite this, the Metropolitan Police failed to make an arrest. We'll dive into this story in today's video, but before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Right now, only 12% of viewers are subscribed, so join the community and help us grow. Now, let's be honest. If it had been any of us, if it had been people standing up for a different cause or holding different views, the outcome would have been very different. We all know it. Had we stepped foot into Tower Hamlets under those same circumstances, we would have been stopped immediately, detained, and likely arrested on the spot. This isn't about political allegiance or personal opinion, it's about consistency in how the law is applied. The police cannot pick and choose when to enforce the rules based on who's involved or what side of the argument they're on. Doing so undermines public trust and fuels the growing sense that we're living under a two-tier system of justice, one set of rules for some and a different set for others. The Metropolitan Police now have a clear choice. If they want to demonstrate that they uphold the law impartially, they must take action. Narinder Kaur should be held to the same legal standard as anyone else. Anything less sends the message that political favoritism trumps fairness, and that's a message no democracy should ever accept. Because at the end of the day, it's simple. If equality before the law means anything, then it must mean everyone, regardless of their cause, their identity, or their connections, is held accountable in the same way. The Met must act, not to appease anyone, but to prove that justice in this country still stands on level ground. Have a watch of this clip.
Narinder, there's a Section 12 or Section 14 in place. As a member of Stand Up to Racism, you're breaking the law. You're not allowed to be here, Narinder. The law enforcement have said you aren't welcome to be here. I want her arrested. She is a member of Stand Up to Racism and she is in the exclusion zone. Arrest her! Arrest her! Arrest her! Arrest her! Arrest her! If I was to go to Whitechapel now, I would be arrested. Stand Up to Racism have a Met Police authorization. They are not allowed in this zone. Narinder Kaur, arrest her!
At the heart of this issue is fairness. The law must apply equally, not just to those who align with certain political movements, but to everyone. When individuals like Narinder Kaur openly breach a Section 14 order and face no consequences, while others would be arrested immediately, it exposes a clear double standard. The Metropolitan Police can no longer ignore this. If they truly stand for impartiality and justice, they must act. Because when the public sees laws applied selectively, confidence in policing collapses. This isn't about politics, it's about principle. Equality before the law is the cornerstone of our democracy. So the question now is simple. Will the Met enforce the law fairly, or will they continue to prove that two-tier policing is alive and well in Britain today? In other news, Lizzie Cundy has launched a blistering attack on Chancellor Rachel Reeves, stating that it is time to resign as the UK's economy teeters on the edge. Her remarks came as debate continues over the Chancellor's potential plans for income tax, with speculation mounting that Labour may consider breaking a key election pledge. Ms. Reeves is reportedly weighing up an income tax rise in next month's budget to help plug a multi-billion-pound gap in the public finances. Some advisors in both the Treasury and Downing Street believe an income tax increase could be the only reliable way to raise enough revenue to avoid further tax hikes later in the Parliament. Lizzie pointed to recent figures showing that the government borrowed £20 billion in September alone, with national debt climbing towards £3 trillion and around £100 billion borrowed just 6 months into the financial year. She questioned how the government plans to fill the growing fiscal black hole, while warning that the wealthy are leaving the country in record numbers, around 16,500, expected to depart by the end of the year. Speaking recently, she said, "All I can think of are those on benefits. It's not going to work, Rachel. You really don't have a clue. And you know who I blame? Keir Starmer, because he had the worst judgment ever putting you in this position. You lied, I'm sorry, you did on your CV, but I hear there's still a job going at Halifax, and I totally recommend it. But don't worry, I'm going to wipe away the tears, because I've got the solution. The solution is for you to resign." That's right, resign, Rachel, do it now. Tell Keir Starmer we've had enough. Our economy is on its knees, we can't be taxed anymore. You said you wouldn't tax working people, but that's all you've done. From farmers to pensioners who've worked all their lives, national insurance hikes through the roof, hospitality businesses on their knees. Enough's enough. Resign, Rachel, and do the right thing. According to sources cited by The Guardian, insiders say Ms. Reeves is wary of the political fallout such a move could trigger, particularly after already breaching earlier commitments by raising national insurance last year. The Treasury is reportedly divided over which income tax rates could be targeted if the Chancellor proceeds with the rise. One option under consideration is adding 1 pence to the basic rate of income tax, which could raise more than £8 billion for the public purse. But such a move risks deepening cost of living pressures for millions of workers. Prince Andrew is facing mounting pressure to leave Royal Lodge, with commentators urging him to read the room amid ongoing public scrutiny. Speaking recently, Ms. Chard said the saga has been rolling on for 15 years and described recent destabilization within the monarchy as outrageous. She added that Prince Andrew really needs to read the room and suggested he may be thinking he should have moved to Frogmore Cottage. People are asking where he should go. He has to be out of sight, Ms. Chard explained. The general public clearly feel let down, especially given the alleged lies. When the court of public opinion speaks, he needs to listen. Ms. Chard said there are several options available to Prince Andrew and noted that stepping away from Royal Lodge could also include financial arrangements with the Crown Estate, with King Charles potentially providing support. There are plenty of places he could go. I realise Royal Lodge is probably his last vestige of status, and he's hanging on to it for dear life, but now the time has come to move. Talks are ongoing, and if he gives up Royal Lodge before June, he may be owed money back from the Crown Estate. King Charles may have to provide some financial support, but there are options. What's really important is his daughters. They mean everything to him. He should be thinking of their future, and sometimes being out of sight is really crucial. Last week, Andrew surrendered the use of his titles, including the Duke of York, amid persistent public scrutiny relating to his relationship to Jeffrey Epstein and links to China. Following the move, the prince is now in discussions with his brother about downsizing from the 30-room Royal Lodge, where he has lived effectively rent-free since 2003. Although the royal had initially resisted, pointing to 5 decades remaining on his prepaid tenancy, palace insiders now feel there is increasing acceptance that relocation is unavoidable. His cast-iron lease presents legal obstacles to eviction, prompting Buckingham Palace to pursue voluntary surrender instead. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.